hear me?
Yay!
We did it! Hooray!
Every time.
Excellent.
It makes me so happy.
Are you good?
Modern technology.
I know. Amazing.
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm excited. Really excited. Oh, hold on.
That makes two of us. We're just waiting for a couple more people to join. Hello, everybody. People are joining as we speak. Excellent. Hi, Beck. Hi, Laura. Hi, Rachel. Yay, we've got some of our wonderful community on tonight.
How can I see everybody?
So you'll see their comments.
Right, okay,
bottom,
fine.
I don't know if it's the same on yours, actually, in the bottom. So there's a little number that keeps coming up, and then we know how many people have joined.
Oh, okay.
And then as the comments come through, though, you should be able to see them.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is at the end of each thing, I'll hand over to you, and then you can dish out any comments or something. Yeah, that's fine.
Of course. How was your day?
It was good. Yeah, I've got about 80% of my Christmas shopping done. Yeah, but I mean, I can't complain. Went through a few bits for this.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's it.
I keep thinking I have more time, and I don't actually have. I need to finish off the Christmas shopping. And
I haven't been in a single shop, not one shop. I've just done it all online. Everything online.
Yeah, I think you're actually right. And now I just feel like I've probably got this weekend to do the online bit, and then that's really it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I'm constantly running to the door for deliveries left, right and centre.
Yeah, exactly the same. Do you know my recycling bin today with all of the presents that I've bought so far, and everything, the packaging is ridiculous.
I know.
We need to be having a conversation about that in itself, because when I took my recycling bin out today, I couldn't believe how overflowing it was.
Yeah, you just reminded me to put the bins out tonight.
Well done.
I keep forgetting them.
Well done. Absolutely. Let me just see. I think there's a few more people that have joined. Yes, Still Becoming is here. Hello, my darling. How are you? Happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Very happy to have you on. As with every webinar, Lou, I read out the disclaimer first, so I'm going to do that. But first of all, just wanted to welcome everyone to the Strength in Nutrition. I was just going to say conditioning. The Strength in Nutrition webinar. This has been a long time in the planning, Lou. We were talking about this months ago, weren't we?
A long time.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. Right, I'm going to read this disclaimer out, and then I'm going to hand over, because we have a lot to learn tonight, and I'm really excited. Okay. The information provided in this Herizen Strength in Nutrition webinar, including guidance from Louise, our functional nutrition therapist, is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All insights discussed tonight are designed to help you better understand your body and support your well-being. However, individual needs vary greatly, especially during menopause. Always consult with your GP, healthcare provider, or a qualified medical professional before making any significant changes to your diet, supplements, fasting routine, or lifestyle, particularly if you have an existing health condition, if you are on medication, or have specific medical concerns. Herizen and Louise do not assume responsibility for any outcomes associated with applying the information shared in this webinar. By participating, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own health decisions. Lecture over.
Very good. Right.
Now we can get down.
Very good.
And get dirty.
Right. Over to me.
Over to you. Lou, introduce yourself as well to everybody.
Yes, I will do. Hi. First, thank you for whoever has shown up tonight. I know how hard it is trying to fit everything in, especially at this time of year. So I'm going to keep my bits succinct as possible. Leave a little bit of time at the end of each section. There's 3 main sections that I would like to cover, and then there's be room for some questions. So to introduce myself, I'm Louise. I'm a nutritional advisor, natural juice therapist, founder of Recovery Juice. I'm 43. I've got 6 children. And I am very much living through menopause or perimenopause right now. So I'm not talking to you from a textbook. I'm talking to you from the school run, the hot sweats, the 3 a.m. wake ups, So it's going to be as real as possible. And if you've been in the Glow Hub before, you might have heard some of the other sessions from some of the other partners who will probably have gone through more about what's going on with your hormones, the estrogen, progesterone, all the changes behind the scenes, mood swings, brain fog, sleepless nights, bloating, blah, 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 all the joys of menopause. But what I would like to do is look at it from a slightly different angle, and say, okay, given everything that's going on in our bodies, what can we do with our food to support ourselves through it? So we shall, bear with me. Okay, so the main thing is at the minute, and I know I feel it, I've opened my windows about 10 times waiting for this webinar because I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold. It feels like our bodies are malfunctioning, but they're not. They are adapting. And nutrition is one of the most powerful tools that we've got to support that transition, but when we use it in the correct way. And there's a lot of ways that we can do that wrong. So this first section is based upon one real fundamental idea, which is a simple one, but really important. As we move through all the menopausal stages from peri to post, our bodies need more from food. Even if we're eating the same amount, we just need more. We don't need more food. We don't need to eat more, but what we need to eat needs to be better. And the reason for that is before menopause, estrogen does a lot of the heavy lifting, but it does it in the quiet sort of background work. So behind the scenes, it's helping our bones stay strong. It's helping our brain chemistry. It's keeping our blood vessels flexible, supports our gut. It helps us sleep. It helps our recovery. When that estrogen starts to fluctuate, all of those systems have to work so much harder to do exactly the same jobs as they did before. And when your body works harder, it needs more support, and that support needs to come in the form of nutrients. There's obviously lots of supplements and help that you can get, but just the simplest way is your food and your diet. So if you've ever thought, oh, I'm eating the same as I always have, but I feel exhausted, I'm putting on weight, it all makes sense. So it's not that you're failing, it's just that what used to be enough isn't enough anymore. And I suppose I always like to come up with a bit of an analogy because that helps my brain process things a lot better. Picture yourself as a car. You're driving along and you've got the fuel in the engine, but you've got the headlights on, you've got the wipers on, you've got the heater going full blast, the electrics, everything's running at once, and the engine still works, but it needs more fuel and it needs better quality fuel to keep going smoothly. So our body is that engine. And what menopause does is it turns everything on all at once. So the heat, the mood swings, the night sweats, and it's the nutrition that keeps that going. And if you picture a petrol station, you've got your normal unleaded petrol on one side, and then you've got the fancy premium stuff that only, the Porsche owners and the Lamborghini and the midlife crisis people buy. But at the minute, what we need to be doing is treating ourselves like the Lamborghini. Yeah. We need the premium fuel. And the truth of it is, most of the food in the supermarket, it's basically the equivalent of putting diesel in a petrol engine. So if you've ever put the wrong fuel in your car, or even just thought you have, the feeling, that instant panic, everything grinding, smoke, the car's coughing like it's been smoking 40 a day.
Yeah.
Boards lighting up, going, why have you done this to me? That is what ultra processed food does to us in menopause. So we're trying to run a high performance engine, but we're filling it with diesel more often than not, because unfortunately that is what the supermarkets are filled with, and we're sort of throwing it in our bodies and we're just praying for the best. So if you feel like that, if you feel like I'm doing my best, I'm trying to eat really well, but I still feel like absolute crap, that's where we need to start being a little bit kinder to ourselves. And rather than thinking, I'm doing something wrong, we can think, you just need to have it in your head, really, that you're not doing anything wrong, you're not malfunctioning. You just think, my body is changing. and what do I need to do to change with that? So I think that there's 3 things that I want to cover tonight mainly. Number one, I'm going to keep it quite broad. I'm sure if we do another webinar, we can dig a bit deeper into all the individual bits. But just from a broader perspective, there's 3 main parts. One, why is it harder to get what we need from food nowadays, even when we're trying? Number 2, which nutrients, especially during the menopause stages, will help us, and how we can use the food, but also when we eat our food, and we can use that as a tool to feel more energized and more like ourselves again. So what we put in and the timing of that is quite key for us in this stage of life. So I want this to feel like it's manageable and doable. I'm not trying to overhaul your whole lifestyle. This isn't for Instagram, it's for life. I've got 6 kids. I've got 1 in America. I've got 5 living with me at 4 different schools. I'm perimenopausal. I run a business. I do not have time to lovingly massage a piece of kale 3 times a day. So if it's not practical, I'm out. I'm not interested. So, and I'm guessing the majority of people will feel the same. So that's the little bit of intro to me and what we'll be talking about. So I'll pause quickly, Cassie, in case you want to just...
Yeah, absolutely. I'm honestly so intrigued to find out what we're going to be talking about, because already just the simple analogies that you're using just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And actually women can feel so... It just feels, again, and one of the reasons why we created Herizen was about being prepared and planned for this stage of our life. But there's so much, it sometimes feels like there's so much information coming at you that you don't really know what to trust and what not to trust, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you just assume that by, trying to eat as healthy as you can, you're going to be moving in the right direction. But again, it does have to be practical, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And also we just need to understand a bit about food nowadays and how it's marketed to us.
Yeah.
It creates a picture that isn't really the truth. So I'm going to try and just talk a little bit briefly about that. And basically it's about the nutrient gap and why modern food nowadays generally isn't enough. And it has to work harder for us to get what we need from it. So we've all heard the advice, just eat a balanced diet, get you 5 a day and you'll be fine. But the problem is that advice was written for a world that just doesn't exist anymore. So the fruit and veg that, our grannies ate, they were grown in richer soil. They were grown closer to home. They were eaten, a lot quicker after they've been harvested. But nowadays, what we've got is soil that's been farmed over and over and over again. So the mineral content's dropped. The food that's picked, and this is one of Cassie's favourite analogies, not analogies, facts.
True,
Yeah, the apples that we pick off the shelf in Tesco in September were probably picked the previous November. And they're cold stored, transported across the world. And they could almost be a year old before they even hit our plates. Throw in on top of that, you've got pollution. We're constantly stressed, like on the go all the time, which isn't how our grandparents lived. And that pollution and chronic stress means that we burn through nutrients even quicker. And then on top of that, we walk into the supermarket, you've got a few token fruit and veg aisles, but the rest of those massive superstores are full of ultra-processed food that look like food, but when they're put inside your body, they don't act like food at all. So if you're someone that's good at getting your 5 a day, the actual nutrient density, the vitamins, the minerals and the plant compounds, they're not what they used to be. So in essence, you sort of need double that nowadays. To make up for the shortfalls of just modern day life, economy, transportation, and just, so it's a lot harder nowadays. So you have to be a lot more considered about what you put in your body, because you can't just keep eating more and hoping that you're going to hit the target. You need to make some considered choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to quickly see if there's any, right, there isn't any, everybody's just saying hi. so far, Lou. So I think we are all extremely engaged in what you are saying.
Go on.
I'm handing
okay. So we've got all that list of things: the soil, the transportation, the stress, the pollution, ultra processed food. And then at the same time, we're sat here going, hi, need a bit more support. My hormones are going crazy. I'm trying to regulate a lot of stuff here. So what we've got, if we've ended up with a really unfair situation, which is our bodies need more nutrition, just as our food supply is offering less than ever. And then pile on top of that, just life. So, the reality is you'll do a big food shop with all the best intentions of the world. You'll get the spinach, the berries, the broccoli, and then life happens. Like, we've got kids, we've got work. At this stage of life, we've got aging parents, broken boilers, and then suddenly it's Friday, and that spinach that you've bought with all the best intentions is wilting and melting to the bottom of the fruit salad drawer. So, I mean, I do it. I stare. I open up the
Sounds like
fridge.
me.
Oh, exactly. I spend a fortune on food, and I'm sure we're all in the same boat now. It is so expensive. But I stare in the fridge, and I'm like, I am so. By 5, 6 o'clock at night, I'm so overwhelmed, overstimulated. Thinking of a meal to cook. The rest of the family's going, I'm not eating that disgusting healthy stuff. So you reach for the easiest option, or you just go on Deliveroo, because all you want to do is sit down. That's it. So again, you've got that on top of all of that, trying to get some goodness in you. So yeah, whatever you're going through at the minute, we're all going through it. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you lazy if you're making bad food choices. It just means you're living in the real world, unfortunately. So when I say a lot of the food in supermarkets is basically diesel for a petrol engine, what I mean is basically your body needs more of certain nutrients to keep everything running smoothly, but most of the foods we grab on autopilot give you almost none of that. So it's like trying to run the Lamborghini on a Pret sandwich and a packet of Quavers, which just doesn't work. So I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, and there's a few major nutrition areas that people in women in menopause need. So number one, and I was going to say to you, Cassie, there's a bit of information coming up. So what I might do is do either a post webinar worksheet or something that I can either give to you or email or put out on the app or something, just to sort of consolidate all of this information that I'm about to spurt out. So number one, these are the things during menopause that our bodies need more of. Number one is magnesium, and this is your nervous system calm down mineral. So when we're going through perimenopause, your nervous system is basically just on high alert 24/7. And estrogen normally helps regulate your stress response, but when it drops, your body burns through magnesium like your husband and kids burn through your patience. So we need more of it, and it's not the easiest of minerals to get into your diet, but what it does is it helps calm anxiety, irritability, helps your muscles relax, it helps you to sleep better. There's temperature regulation, and that restless leg, which is I've just started to get restless legs in the evening, which is a joy, and all the tension. So for magnesium, obviously the supplements out there, which are great as a nutrient bridge, but there's the foods that we can get it from are spinach, kale, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocados, bananas, black beans, and then leafy green juices. So that's your magnesium. Then the second one is your B vitamins, and this is your energy production team. So they're working behind the scenes, and when your hormones fluctuate, your energy production becomes a lot less efficient. So that's why when we haven't changed anything in our whole routine and we're doing everything as normal, we're still just exhausted. So B vitamins help your body convert food into energy. They support brain function, and they help balance your mood. They regulate stress. And so for these, you're looking at, again, leafy greens, beetroot, whole grains, eggs, legumes, nuts, seeds. And then the third group is vitamin C. So this is your collagen and immunity keeper. So estrogen and collagen are the best of friends. But when estrogen dips, collagen production just slides down the banister with it. So it all goes to pot. So your increase in vitamin C, and by the way, vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. So you're excreting it out as every time you go to the toilet. So it's something that you have to constantly top up. And unfortunately, things like stress in the body is your biggest vitamin C depleter. So the more stressed you are, the more vitamin C you're going to need to keep putting in. It's a constant cycle with this one. So your vitamin C supports your collagen. So we try and keep our faces from sagging to the floor. Reduces inflammation in the body. Strengthens immunity. I seem to be getting ill quite a lot more at the minute. And it energizes your adrenal glands. So it will just keep you with that extra source of energy. So your good source of vitamin C, your citrus fruits, as everybody knows, your berries, peppers, kiwi, pineapple, any juices, not store-bought, shelf-stable orange juices. It needs to be cold pressed and it needs to be fresh. So those live enzymes are going in and working in your body. So they're the first three in the nutrients. Then we move on to omega-3s, and these are your inflammation firefighters. So when your hormones are shifting, inflammation can creep up. So you've got your joint pain, your stiff muscles, your bloating, your brain fog. I've suddenly turned into my mother and I've got water on the knee at the minute, or I did have, which is just horrible. And it just comes from nowhere. You sort of wake up one morning and like, oh great, now I can't move my shoulder today. So it's just this never ending cycle
that keeps giving. Yeah.
So your omega-3s will help to reduce inflammation. They help to support your mood. They'll help with improve your brain function. So just keeping that mental clarity that it just disappears, and keeps your joints moving. So for omega-3s, you're going to look at your oily fishes, your salmons, your sardines. Then you've got your walnuts, flaxseed, chia seeds, and all that. And then the final section is your proteins, and this is your midlife power tool. So we naturally lose muscle mass during perimenopause, which in turn, not only are you losing muscle mass, but you're slowing down your metabolism because your muscles have a massive part to play in your metabolism. So by keeping your bodies topped up with your proteins, it helps to rebuild that muscle mass and keep you feeling stronger, more stable, more energized. I know you've got some fitness experts in your team, so I'm sure they'll say the importance of weightlifting, in menopause, and it's all just totally interconnected. But you can't keep building the muscle if you're not giving yourself the protein to repair the muscles and so forth. So it's really important. But I will just say on this is a really good time to say it. When I say protein, I'm not even going to say lean protein or lean meat. I am a massive fan of meat fats and natural fats in general. One of my favourite things is don't blame fat for what sugar did. And also, while we're at it, don't blame salt for what sugar did.
Yeah.
Sugar is the one that is the culprit in all of this. So our natural fats, from the meats to the fish, the eggs, nuts, seeds, avocados and stuff. I mean, I'm a massive fan of bacon fat, which I probably shouldn't say, but just the fats. But what these fats do, these natural fats, they're from the animal. They support hormones. They stabilize blood sugar. But more importantly, they keep you full and they help absorb vitamins far better than anything ever labeled low fat. So the only thing a low fat yogurt is good for is making you hungry in about 10 minutes again. So most diet products are just real food that have then been, and this is what kills me, stripped of all their natural fats. And then what's been stripped out is padded back in with sweeteners, thickeners, processed carbs, and they are a killer for your hormones. They do you no favors during perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, it is one of the biggest cons going. So they don't satiate you. So then what do? You end up eating twice as much because you're hungry immediately. So just stick with the natural fats. Always choose the full fat option. Don't go for the low fat options. It is a con, and it drives me absolutely insane. So your food sources, your lean meats, chickens, fish, tofu if it's your bag, eggs, beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, full fat Greek yogurt. Do not go for the low fat options. And anything that with ingredients on the back of it that looks like a chemistry set, just avoid it. Just keep it as simple as you possibly can. And that is why I've chosen to specialize in this area of nutrition. It's the functional nutrition, which basically means we use real foods in forms that your body can recognize and absorb easily to actively support systems that are under pressure. So your body doesn't want to filter out chemicals. It doesn't want to wade through additives to find the good bits that it can use. It needs real food that it can recognize, understand, and use efficiently and quickly within our bodies. So instead of labeling foods as good or bad, we can ask a few more helpful questions. So will this help my nervous system feel calmer? What's going to support my circulation and energy? And what will help my gut and hormones clear properly instead of getting backed up and making all the symptoms worse? So have you got anything to say here, Cassie, before I'm going to do a quick 90-second just review of like the top things that can help you here?
No, of course. We've just got a question that has come in from Susie. Susie is one of our incredible reclaimers. So Susie had breast cancer.
Yeah.
She's used your car analogy. If your body was a trusty Volvo and now from chemo is more a three-wheeler Del Boy car, thanks to chemo, are there any good nutrients to really make sure that she gets into her diet with menopause that's on supercharge? So quite clearly has been put into a medically induced menopause and it's hitting her in every direction.
Okay, well, talk about a well-timed question, because literally what I'm about to say now feeds on perfectly for that. So I'm going to give you, I'm not going to go I'm not going to dive too deep, but these are some of the core things that you can eat for menopause, for recovery, for just women in their 40s plus. So number one is, and this is just my favorite vegetable on the entire planet, is beetroot. Yes. So not your pickled jar version, but good, fresh, raw beetroot. So once we hit our 40s, our natural nitrate levels dip, and they dip in everybody once we hit 40. So when your nitrate levels drop, that can affect your circulation, your blood pressure, your energy. And what beetroot does is helps boost nitric oxide, and that opens up all of it. So it gets converted by an oral microbiome in your mouth. So when the saliva in your mouth connects with the beetroot or the beetroot juice or whatever you're having, that acts as like your catalytic converter, basically. So you've got your, bear with me, I've just lost my entire screen.
No worries.
Sorry. Where are we? Oh, gosh.
Don't worry. We'll get it back.
I will.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah. And then, bear with. Here we go. Yeah. Let me just find where it was, because otherwise I'm going to go all over the place.
I love beetroot, by the way. It's one of my favourite.
Yeah. Right, Cassie, just take over just for a second while I'm getting myself back.
Does anybody else like beetroot on here? It's one of my favourites. Sarah, isn't it? It is so interesting, honestly, and we're not even halfway through yet. People are saying that they've learned so much.
Oh, really? Oh, I really want to teach you some more, but I've lost all my notes. This is so frustrating. And
do not worry.
Okay, here we go. There we go. I don't want to, I obviously know it all, but I don't want to skip around.
No, I hear you.
Let me get back to my beetroot bit. So, beetroot. beetroot. So yeah, so we're talking about nitrates, them dipping, and
there's something happens when your beetroot enters your mouth.
Yes, so the oral microbiome is that converts it to nitric oxide. So, goodness me. Here we go. Right, excuse me. I'm so sorry, everybody. Technology is not my friend today. Yeah, so we eat the beetroot. The oral microbiome acts as your catalytic converter and converts that into nitric oxide. So what that nitric oxide does, it opens up all your blood vessels and helps the oxygen flow more freely. And a lot of the time, our tiredness is down to poor circulation. So it's because there's not enough oxygen flowing through our bodies, and there's everything constricts, everything just gets a little bit tighter at this stage of life. So the poor circulation has a lot to account for, really. So beetroot will open up all of those blood vessels. It'll give you a natural clean lift. There's no caffeine, there's no crash, and it can lower your blood pressure in as little as 24 hours. So a lot of my clients, customers have come back. They've noticed a drop in 24 hours, and within 2 weeks, it's stabilized at a normal level, which is without any pills, powders, supplements, or anything. It is an absolute godsend of a vegetable. So beetroot's the first one. The second one, and this is, I can absolutely attest to its potency and it working, because it's turmeric and ginger. So these are your natural painkillers. I've converted my entire household, including my 17-year-old stepson, who would never even look at a vegetable before. Now he's saying, can you make the ginger shots a bit stronger? And all of them are in the fridge. So they're your natural painkiller. And what they do is they block your pain enzymes and your inflammation receptors. So it's sort of, your ginger goes in, and it works exactly the same as paracetamol does, but just in a natural way. So it blocks those pain receptors, which ordinarily trigger inflammation. So it stops that triggering. So the inflammation, which is pending, gets blocked. So your body doesn't tell it to inflame itself to protect whatever it thinks is going on. It just stops that, so it can help calm everything that's going on in your body. Because our body's sending so many mixed signals at this time. So that's why you wake up with your shoulder inflamed, because your body's going, I don't really know what I'm doing. It's a well-oiled machine, but it's just a bit of a cranky old rust bucket at the minute until we start to give it what it needs. So it will block some of the enzymes that drive inflammation, and that can help with the joint pain, the stiffness, bloating. And I have set myself, and this is what I do for my customers. I say, you can't just take a turmeric capsule, or you can't just take a turmeric shot. What it does is it builds up in the body. So you'll take the curcumin that's in turmeric, takes 28 days to build up inside your body. And once your body starts to recognize that and use it, your inflammation levels will come down. I did it in 3 weeks, and I got rid of my water on the knee. And I'm not kidding you, I can bash my knee against my desk now and it doesn't hurt at all. So now I'm sort of locked in. I have to keep taking it because I dare not, because I think it'll come back, but it works. No ibuprofen, no anti-inflammatories, just a shot of turmeric. And it is incredible how the body responds again to something that it truly understands. It sees the turmeric, it's like, I know you, I'll take that, I'll use you, and that's it, job done. So it is absolutely brilliant. So that genuinely works. And then your greens. So you've got your beetroot, your ginger, turmeric, and then you've got your greens. So your cucumber, your celery, your kale. And what these are, they're the hydration heroes. So not only do they hydrate, but they're full of electrolytes. So when these hot flashes, the night sweats, you wake up and you feel like all the moisture has just been sucked out of your body, and it's all over your bed sheets and your pillow, and it's horrible. But rather than just drinking loads of water, which obviously is advisable, if you had, say, a green juice or something, that tops up your fluids, but it also gives you the minerals, the plant compounds, and all of the stuff that your body can use. So they sort of temperature regulate and calm that internal heat that a lot of us feel. I mean, I am literally sweating right now.
Yeah, me too.
And then in 5 minutes, I'm going to be freezing cold. But
yeah,
so I haven't had a green juice today. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah.
Lou,
so
can I just ask you a really quick question?
Sure.
Just like so I can make sure that I'm getting this right in my head. So when we just talk about what is accessible to us now in terms of like financially and what we can do ourselves, if we are shopping for beetroot, we are shopping for not the jarred beetroot, the fresh beetroot that's in the counter in the supermarket.
You'll see it'll just look like the big bulbs with the stalks coming out. You can juice it, you can bake it, roast it. It's not very nice raw, but however you can get that into your diet. When I say it is an absolute powerhouse of an ingredient, if I can recommend one thing, it is beetroot. It is just an absolute superfood. And the food industry, and this is what drives me insane, is that doctors don't promote it. They don't tell you about it. Whereas with the rise of social media, thank God, beetroot is increasing year on year by 800% in sales. Beetroot juice, beetroot supplements. People are becoming more aware and informed, and that is the power of social media and the internet. Unfortunately, a lot of our doctors have up to, I don't know, like a month maybe, or a tiny module in their whole doctor training in nutrition. So, and it's criminal. They should be promoting these foods because they work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely work. And unfortunately, the more pills they give you, the more of these foods you need to counterbalance all the, the side effects that are going on in your body. So the less you can put in terms of synthetic substances, supplements and stuff, if you can get it in its true form, it's bioavailable. So your body will just take everything. It doesn't have to go into the gut. It doesn't have to be processed to get through the little plastic seal, of the supplement pills and stuff. You just go straight into your bloodstream. So it's not a magic cure, but it's a damn sight closer than we are without taking it. So
and if you're making small steps in the right direction with exercise and with the awareness of what you're putting in your body, then the outcome is going to be more positive, isn't it?
100%.
You're going to feel better.
What about
the turmeric and the ginger? Sorry to butt in again.
Sorry, what was the question?
With the turmeric and the ginger, and obviously we are absolutely going to talk about recovery juice towards the end of this, and I really do want to tell our community about your business. But what if we wanted to make that ourselves? Is that possible?
If you've got a juicer, then I would recommend every single person get a juicer. It is the quickest way to, and I have got a little example to give you. It's the quickest way to, you couldn't eat that much food. So if you juice a massive plate of vegetables, you can drink it in 20 seconds. You've flooded your body with bioavailable nutrients that doesn't have to be processed through the digestive tract. It will go into your stomach, and within 15 minutes that will have absorbed through the stomach lining, and it will be into the blood cells, and it will be directed exactly where your body needs it to go, for healing, for repair, for nourishment, without getting clogged up in the gut, with no interruption. It's uninterrupted nutrition. So I would recommend everybody get a juicer if you can. If you've got a blender, you can blend up your ginger, your turmeric with an apple, a couple of apples, a lemon, and then you can just strain it through a fine mesh. Juice is just the easiest way. Like straight in, bam, drink, done.
Love that.
The key to a juicer is do not put it away in your cupboard, because if it goes in the cupboard, it will never come out. So you have to have it somewhere prominent for that you'll see it every day. And also you can batch make juice, and you can freeze it. So as soon as it's defrosted, it's as good as the day it was juiced. So you've got nutrients on tap. But if you can, but turmeric as well, if you can incorporate turmeric into your cooking. So if you're doing some curries and stuff, it's all got the same impact.
Yeah.
So those active compounds will still do the job for you. So it's just about trying to find sort of sneaky ways to get things in, really.
Yeah.
And we're not, but what we have to do is train our brains to think, I'm not doing this because I like the taste. I'm not doing this for the flavor. I'm doing it because it is going to perform a function in my body that is going to help me feel better. So you've got to sort of reframe it a little bit. No one takes a spoonful of medicine and goes, oh, I really fancy this, but it's going to do some good. So you sort of have to start thinking about that in terms of food.
It's almost like that needs to become the medicine that we need. Like instead of leaning for the
Socrates, let food be thy medicine. I mean, one of the founding fathers. Like, it's just the truth. Like, before, we didn't have all these quick fixes. We're in a society where we just want everything now. But you can still grab an apple and have it instantly. Like, it's there for us, but it's just not promoted as what we should be eating.
Yeah.
So what was the next bit I was going to say? So the next bit was actually, how do I get these foods into my day quickly without it taking over my life? Because I don't have time. I mean, I'm a functional nutritionist. So I've got a company that sells functional juices, but I don't live in a yoga retreat. I don't have, someone handing me a warm towel and handing me my kale chips. I live in a house where I'm very conscious that this is the witching hour right now, and I'm expecting a head to pop through the door. Someone's always shouting, Mum. They've lost something. So, the focus has to be food without the faff, for it to work, really. If it's not simple, it's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. So if I can drink a green juice or a beetroot juice in the morning, I've sort of ticked off a job. That's my baseline. I've ticked it off. It's done. So, if I fall into the trap of eating a load of crap for the rest of the day, I haven't eaten a load of crap and that's it. I've had my goodness. So we're not trying to overhaul your entire diet. We have to be realistic. At our stage in life, we've got families. We're cooking for everybody. We've got work and laundry and blah, 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 blah. So if you were looking to carve out a perfect, separate menopause diet, it's not going to work. It's not sustainable. You might do a week of, some beautiful food prep tubs in your fridge and your freezer. It won't last. Let's be real. It's not going to last. So, and it's not necessary, really, because what we're looking for is just little switches, little adds in and little upgrades. So not a mass overhaul. We're not looking to, reinvent the wheel. We're looking to just tweak what we're doing to make it sustainable. And that's the main thing. So again, I will have to go back to the juice, because it's just in our busyness, that is the easiest way to get it in. So if you drink a green juice in the morning, you've got your magnesium, you've got your folate, you've got your antioxidants, you've got all those nutrients before you've even said, where are your school shoes? Are you ready to walk that door? You've ticked that box. So small, consistent changes are going to take you so much further than any sort of dramatic, short-lived overhaul. So you don't need a perfect diet. You need a consistent one. Because again, if you're going to be tricking your body, you'll be good for 1 week and it'll go, oh, we've got everything we need. Let's start to calm everything down. And then you'll fall off the wagon. And then it's like, oh, crap. It's all gone to pot. And then you've got to try and rebuild from lower than baseline. So just add in what you can maintain. And that if it's a ginger shot, for goodness sake, a ginger shot first thing in the morning, just do that, but do it every single day. So your body knows to use those nutrients and it becomes part of your routine. You won't even notice it before you're aware. So, so perfection, no. Consistency, yes. And then the final part that I want to talk about is not only what we put in our bodies, but when we put it in. again, this is really key for menopause. So it's not just what we eat, but when we eat it, and how giving our bodies a break from constant eating can actually help it repair, balance hormones, and clear out some of all the clutter inside. So is there anything you want to say before I jump onto this next part?
My mind is just going crazy with the information. It's absolutely fascinating.
Okay, well, let me continue
Carry
to
on.
fascinate. So let's talk about timing. First of all, and this is one of my biggest bugbears, I need to mess with one of the biggest food beliefs we've been given. You should eat 3 meals a day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You should never skip breakfast. Snack to keep your energy up. Oh, drives me insane. So breakfast is the most important meal of the day was an advertising slogan. It was an advertising slogan. It is not real nutrition advice. So I think it was first created by the Rockefeller family at the beginning of the 20th century. It was then adopted by Kellogg's. And somehow it has got so ingrained in our psyches that we now feel bad if we haven't had breakfast. Say to the kids, you have to eat. And obviously the kids should eat because they're little and they need lots of food. But for us, we don't have to eat constantly throughout the day. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. But unfortunately, food is so accessible now. It's just always in our sight. It's always in our eye line. Wherever we walk, the advertising, we're just constantly bombarded with food, which just sets your brain going constantly, makes you think about it, and then you want to eat it, and you just don't eat it. So again, during menopause, when you're feeling a bit rubbish, that sort of advice does lead us to eat constantly, which means our body is constantly digesting. Now, our bodies use, for digestion, we use about 1/3 of our calorific intake purely for digestion. So about 33% of our calories go on digesting the actual calories that we've consumed. So if you think about how humans have evolved, there was no food. We were hunter-gatherers. We ate seasonally. We ate mangoes in the summer. We ate less in the winter. We ate fresh fruits in the spring or whatever. Now we've got everything at any time we want, and it's our bodies are still adapting now. But what we did, we went through periods of time with no food. And during that fast, it wasn't a diet, it was reality. Like there wasn't any food around, so we had to fast. But in those gaps, your body switches into a whole new mode. So when you're not digesting, when your body is not processing the endless amounts of food that we put in, most of which is super processed, so most of the time is spent extracting the actual goodness out of the food. When you're in this fasting mode, or the gap between eating, that's the time that your body tidies up damaged cells. It can regulate inflammation. It can get more sensitive to insulin again. But somewhere along the way, we've lost that rhythm. And we started treating our bodies like we have to feed them every 2 hours or we're going to fall over, which is just rubbish. So you hear people going, it's my biggest thing. Oh, I couldn't fast. I wouldn't be able to focus. Who told you that? Like, who told you that? Have you tried it? And if you think about the animal world, what is more focused, alert, dangerous, like on edge, ready to go than a hungry wolf? Or would you prefer to come into contact with a freshly fed lion who's got no energy, just wants to lay in the sun? So when you're talking about that, fasting does something in our body, and it triggers this, this ancient response where we're ready to go because we haven't got anything slowing down inside of us. So we don't want to lay in the sun. We want to get up and go. So if I do a juice cleanse for 3 days, which I do like once a season, not excessively, by day 3, I kid you not, every single drawer in my house is organized because I just can't stop. I've got so much energy. because it's not spending all that time processing and digesting food. It's sending that energy to all the parts of your body that it needs to go to. So I'm not talking about extreme fasting in this instance. I'm not talking about anything unsafe. What I'm talking about is just gentle, realistic tweaks. So, for example, leaving 12 to 14 hours between your evening meal and your first meal of the day. So if you eat at, say, 8 o'clock in the evening, go till 8 o'clock in the morning. And if you can extend it just that little bit longer, your body at 17 hours of fasting, your body starts to, the bad cells start to eat each other. It's called autophagy. And so the bad cells, they get destroyed by the good cells. And it's this recycling and cleansing system. But it only happens when your body isn't doing all the other stuff like digesting. Yeah. So it's just a little cleanup process that you can do. So don't graze all evening. Like, try and leave that window to just rest all of that that's going in. And it gives you digestion a breather. And as a result of that, once it's not digesting food constantly, your inflammation will start to come down. Your blood sugar will steady because it's not constantly like this. It will start to find its even keel. Your cells have the space to clean up, and your brain should, and more often than not, feels clearer and not foggier. So the timing is like just such an incredible tool. So if you can just stretch out or just carve out a window during your day where you can just have a complete break from food. I mean, people do the 5-2 fasting plan, which is eat for 5 days, fast for 2. That can be with water, it can be with juice, it can be with just one meal at 500 calories a day. But again, your body creates this rhythm, and it starts to repair and heal and recover without really making any massive changes. I know you're cutting back on the food a little bit, but you can still eat whatever you want on the other 5 days. Like, you're not going to crumble, and you're not going to fall over, and you're not going to end up in hospital, because you can eat for 5 days. It's just a couple of days a week to just put your body into a position that it can attack what needs to be attacked, for your benefit. So I don't have breakfast ever. I never have breakfast. I'm not soaking my overnight oats or, nibbling on my chia seeds. I don't have time to do anything in the morning. But what I do, and I'm not pitching this, but I am giving you an idea. This is frozen. I've literally taken it out of my freezer. So you can see. So this is what I have. This is the beetroot juice that I've been banging on about. So where's my camera? There we go. It's called Daily Beets. Inside this bottle, you've got 2 apples, a huge bulb of beetroot, 2 carrots, celery, cucumber, red pepper, spinach, and lemon. And it's a huge pile, and it's juiced down into this, and then it's frozen, flash frozen. So all the nutrients are frozen at peak optimum nutrition. Take it out, put it in your fridge, and I drink that in the morning. And it's the equivalent of eating a huge raw salad, at 7 a.m., which nobody is going to voluntarily do, but it tastes amazing. And you have ticked off so many boxes by doing that. So that's my little cheat. It's all raw, it's all full of enzymes, it's unprocessed, and it is just rapid nutrition on the go.
And if you had that, Lou, in the morning, that would surely take you through. I remember when you very kindly sent me some. I remember feeling I didn't even think about food.
No, you don't, because we are so overfed but undernourished. It's most of the food that we put in our bodies. Again, I said it earlier, our bodies have to extract, they have to filter through the chemicals, the additives, the preservatives to get to the actual goodness of the food. There's hardly any left by the time you've got there. Whereas with that, you drink it, your body, before it gets to your stomach, it will have alerts going off. It's like, right, I know that. And so 15 minutes, and it's absorbed into your body, and then it's just taken to where you want to go. So your blood pressure, your nitrates, your your blood vessels start opening. It's got everything. It's got hydration. And this is not me trying to pitch juice to sell to you. It's me trying to pitch the easiest way, whether you juice it yourself, whether you buy it from the shop down the road, I don't know. But it is the quickest way for this stage of life. And I just know how busy I am. So I can only assume everybody else is as busy. It is the quickest, easiest way to get what you need. You're not going to eat all that beetroot and celery and stuff, but you can drink it in seconds.
Yeah.
And it's just done.
And it's just going to support us to absolutely flourish.
Yeah. Honestly, you do. And you never, it's like going to the gym. You never regret a gym.
No.
You never regret a juice. And again, some of them you might not really enjoy. But that want and that need to give your body what it needs overrides all of that.
Yeah.
And my juices taste really nice. So
yeah,
fine.
they really do. Do you know, it makes complete sense as well, Lou, as to why you feel so exhausted if you're just putting crap in your body, because your body's trying to find goodness in a burger or in a plain bit of rice or something that was just, or a chicken nugget. And there's no goodness to be found.
Before it's actually doing its actual job. So but it's not our fault. It's the food industry. It's the way the supermarkets are laid out. It's the marketing. It's the advertising. So, and this is another thing that drives me mad. I am not allowed to say that this contains 8 servings of fruit and vegetable, which it does. Like, it's whole ingredients all gone in. All it's done is strip out the fibre, and fibre is important, but it's not necessary in every single meal at all. But I'm only allowed to say that this contributes towards 1 of your 5 a day. It's bullshit, excuse my language, but it is absolute bullshit. This is 8 servings. They're trying to say it contributes to 1, whereas you can turn on the TV and you've got McDonald's, you've got every single gin company under the sun advertising at peak time.
Yeah,
that's okay. But for me to say that this juice contains 8 servings of fruit and vegetable, I'd be shut down instantly. And again, it
makes sense.
So, and that was the whole point of this webinar, is to help people just see through that and see how we're being marketed to. And you've just got to look a layer below it and get what you're being told by everybody and do what your body is telling you to do. And it doesn't have to be juice. You can have a banana and a handful of nuts. You can have a couple of boiled eggs. You can have Greek yogurt. You can have whole grain toast and nut butter. So you don't have, and actually you don't have to have any of those. If you just have a glass of water for breakfast, that's fine. You don't have to eat breakfast. But if you're not eating and just drinking water, you just need to be a bit more conscious about that first meal that you do have. It needs to have some of the goodness. So, you know, if you've got this, you can afford to have your bag of Quavers or whatever midway through the day. But if you've just had your water, then you need some of the nutrients. Otherwise, you are going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
So to reiterate the point is not to be perfect. The point is to find something that works in your actual life. The fantasy version of the meal prepped quinoa jars is not realistic. So this whole phase needs to be about gentle, doable upgrades, doable additions, small additions, a few switches. Maybe don't have your cup of coffee, have a ginger shot to give you a little perk that you need. But if you do all of those things repeatedly and consistently, that is the thing that's going to move the needle the most.
I honestly, I never fail to be impressed by you. Your knowledge is just, we're going to have to deep dive this next year, Lou.
Yeah.
We really are, because I think we could do a whole, the fasting thing that I was advised to do so much when I was going through treatment alone.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't eat that much when I was going through treatment because I just didn't feel well enough to eat. It was one of the things. So I believe I was almost fasting without even realizing I was fasting, because I just didn't really eat. And yes, I did lose weight, but
when you're fasting and not eating, then you're again at this stage. If you're in if you're having treatment, fasting is incredible, because it kills off those that you cut. If you feed glucose is the biggest cancer feeder. So if you cut it off at the source, you will start to fight off some of the cells and stuff. But if you're not in that, unfortunately, hopefully most people aren't in that stage, you can fast and give your digestive system a break. But with the juicing, you're still getting all the benefits of the fasting, but you're giving yourself the nutrients that we need to keep that engine going. So it's
and it's almost reclaiming your power back. I feel like every time we do a webinar on Herizen, our community are learning a different thing each time, and it's like slowly but surely you're reclaiming that control back to make an informed decision about how you want to live through this stage of life.
Well, this is exactly why I started Recovery Juices, and people won't know this, but 4 years ago I had an absolute mental breakdown. I was in a horrible relationship, like really horrible, just mental, emotional abuse, to the point that I became an alcoholic. I ended up in rehab for 28 days, and I came out, and this is me as a nutritionist. I still fell into that trap because life happens. You can have all the qualifications in the world, but when you're feeling like that, you look for the crutches and the support. And for me, it was red wine. It ended up as vodka in my coffee. It was horrific.
Wow.
But I rebuilt myself, and I needed something coming out of rehab to get me on track as quickly as I possibly could. I started with 1 juice a day, and within 4 months, I had rebuilt my body, my mind. It makes me really emotional talking about it, but it is transformative. It really is. And we're just not being told the right information about it.
I can truly see just how incredibly passionate you are, and thank you so much for
it's life-changing.
It's so vulnerable to share that with us. And you know, this is one of the incredible things about our community, is that we do stand really strong beside each other, and we support each other. And I'm just so grateful that you felt comfortable enough to share that. But honestly,
I think it's so important though to just small changes. I didn't overhaul my entire life when I came out of rehab. I put one little change in, and that then had a knock-on effect on everything else. So you make that one small change, and it slowly starts to compound and compound until suddenly your lifestyle is actually a really healthy one. You've cut out the booze, you've cut out the McDonald's, and you've replaced it with a beetroot juice. I mean, who the hell am I? That's what my life is now, and I've got energy. I can run a business. I can look after 6 children. I can, I can do it all because I'm feeding myself the premium fuel. And again, it doesn't have to be juice. It doesn't have to be juice. It just has to be the good stuff. So
perimenopause may look very different for you if you weren't on this path, right?
Oh my God. Like so much different. So much different. And I can tell if I have a few days where I'm being a bit slack or I am super busy, I can feel it. I can feel it. But you only let it go a couple of days and you get straight back on it, and then you're back on track. Because you haven't made an overhaul and fallen off the wagon. You've just forgotten to drink a juice for 2 days. It's not the end of the world.
And it's just realistic. It's sustainable, isn't it? You can make it consistent because it's a realistic expectation of yourself of what you're going to try and do.
And I am the biggest all or nothing person. I'm either in something or I'm out of it. Like there is no in between for me. So I think the biggest thing that, again, this business that I've created has taught me to do is just be all right. It's okay to be average. You don't have to have every single meal prepped, but if you can fit in one thing that's good, that makes all the difference, because you can't be perfect all the time and you can't be crap all the time. So let's say, I can't believe I'm saying aim for average, but for us for now, it is the most achievable and maintainable place to be.
Absolutely. And I can vouch, and I know that Laura feels the same as well. We've both tried your juices, and they are incredibly delicious. Some were more favourites than others.
Yes,
but I felt the goodness. I knew exactly what was happening. And I mean, they look beautiful, they taste gorgeous, and it feels like real
you're just drinking goodness.
It really does. It really your body does feel like something's happening, you know.
Yeah, and that's because it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have actually created on Recovery Juice, you have actually created a menopause bundle, haven't you? Specifically, for women going through this phase of life.
Yeah. So the menopause bundle is pretty much all of the things that I mentioned, all those key ingredients. So you've got daily beets, you've got easy greens, which is your hydration juice, which is your apple, celery, cucumber, lemon, and ginger. Really nice.
Yeah.
Daily beets with everything in. And then you've got, what's the other one in the bundle? Carrot kick, which is apple, carrot, ginger, and lemon. So they're your main juices for just drinking whenever, really. Just whenever you fancy one, grab one out of the freezer, drink it. You know, they're your juices. But then in addition to that, you've got the ginger turmeric shots for your water on your knee or whatever you're dealing with.
Your inflammation.
Joint pain, inflammation, immunity as well.
Yeah.
And then the other I should have brought one up with me, I didn't think, is Balance Beets, which is, this is a 500ml bottle, but it's 125ml. It's like a long shot, but it's most of the ingredients from daily beets, but it's got added ashwagandha in. So that's for your calming your moods, your stabilizing your hormones, just making everything a little bit easier. And again, that works because when every month I hit this 3-day period where I just have a migraine, ashwagandha works. So that's the menopause bundle. It's just, it's everything all in one bundle. It's not a plan, it's not a prescribed plan. You don't have to drink 3 a day plus your shot. You can just grab them as you go, because again, one juice is better than no juice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to eat a fry up in the morning but have an ashwagandha shot, then by all means do it. We don't have to take everything out, but again, if we can just add something in, that will make it. And you might not notice it immediately, but over time your body will start to feel better and better nourished. And again, and what it does is it then ekes out the rubbish. Because once you get same with alcohol, like I don't even think about having a drink now, because I haven't just stopped drinking alcohol. I've replaced alcohol with things like this. And now that's squeezed it out so much. There's no room for alcohol. I don't want it. I couldn't think of anything worse than having a glass of wine right now. And I'm not saying that people should stop drinking, because my God, if I could just have one or two, I think you're the luckiest person in the world if you can do that. But I just can't. So
I also feel like as well at this stage of life, like regardless of whatever I went through, I just know that drinking is just not for me anymore. I can't deal. I'm too busy to deal with the hangover, and the hangovers don't feel manageable for me anymore. It still doesn't mean I can't have fun. I still go out with my friends. I'm still one of the last ones standing, but I've made an informed decision that I'm going to stop going, oh, I'm not going to drink tonight. I don't drink.
Well, I saw you at the party the other week and
I didn't drink.
Didn't drink.
You didn't drink. I didn't drink.
So alcohol is the equivalent of having all your wipers, all your electrics on, the engine in your Volvo that's falling to pieces, and then you throw the alcohol on top. You might as well just set the thing on fire.
Completely.
Because the amount of effort it takes for our bodies then to regulate from the alcohol, the dehydration, you are starting so far below your baseline that the work it takes to get to zero is just where you were originally. You're never going to feel any better. So,
but equally, we're not saying that you shouldn't drink. If you want to drink
go and have a glass of wine for me, please. Just not
for us anymore. I wanted to talk really quickly about, so I want to summarize everything because there's so much information. But Lou, I wonder.
I've got a little summary here, by the way.
Amazing. We'll get together over the next couple of days, but I would really love it if we could break down, you know, like the nutrients with the magnesium, if we could break that down into posts to put in the Glow News and Glow Lounge from you, our expert. That I just feel like when people watch this, they're going to be trying to take notes, because I know that's how I feel. But equally, if we can put it in writing, just little small changes and little snippets of information that help people make better choices. So all of those food groups that you listed that are linked to, like magnesium, and then you know there's celery, and then there was something, and I was like, right, I'm going to go and buy all of this, almost like a little bit of shopping list that I can pick out of what suits me, you know,
Definitely.
and the same for our community.
Together.
So we can work on that.
Information. Yeah, definitely. So to just quickly summarize,
please
the
do.
Key takeaways from this whole amazing chat.
Yes.
Number one, your body is not malfunctioning; it's working harder. Estrogen drops, everything from sleep to mood, circulation, everything is working overtime. So we need more support. Number one. Number two, modern food gives us less right when we need it more. Whether it's soil depletion, long storage, ultra processed food means that nutrient density just isn't there anymore. So again, what you do put in needs to be really good, considered decisions. Certain nutrients make a real difference. So magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin C, omega-3s and protein. Then your superfood ingredients, beetroot, ginger, turmeric, greens. And they will just actively support your body under pressure. That's 3. Number 4, aim for more nutrition, less faff, little switches, small adds, big overhauls. So realistic habits over perfect plans. Keep it simple, keep it consistent. Don't beat yourself up if you fall off and miss a couple of days. Just get back on it. And I've said my 5th point, consistency is the magic ingredient. So one good choice repeated daily goes further than a whole week followed by burnout. And then timing helps. Try and extend that window between your final meal and your first meal. Give your body a chance to repair itself. Let it do the work without being interrupted by, another packet of biscuits or, a family-sized bag of crisps in front of a movie at night. Just let it do its thing, and you will see the difference. And then most importantly, choose what fits into your life. Juice works for me. Yogurt might suit you. Eggs for another person. So it's not about rules. It's just about support. And that support does not have to look perfect. It just needs to be there in some form and consistently.
Lou, honestly, my heart feels so full. I honestly cannot thank you enough. It does make me emotional. I feel emotional because the education of this webinar has just been extraordinary, and it's in a language that we can all understand. And that's why Herizen was born.
Yeah.
So
we're living it.
Yeah. Honestly, just I can't thank you enough. From Laura and I can't thank you enough. Because
thank you for having me. Honestly,
it's utterly amazing. I've forgotten that there are people even here. I'm so sorry. I was so involved. Okay, so Catherine, I think she's being funny. Does that include a skinny latte in the morning if you're fasting? Catherine, are you being funny, or is that a genuine question?
Well,
if you're fasting, can you have a skinny latte?
But it depends what you're fasting for. If you're going for autophagy, which is when the 17 hours plus when your cells start to kill each other off, then no. Latte is not. If you're doing it just to give your digestive system a break, a little bit of milk isn't going to be the end of the world. Milk is natural. It might be a little bit processed, but it's not going to do you any major damage. So a lot of fasting plans allow you a black coffee. That might be a better alternative. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So as long as that milky latte doesn't come with a big fat chocolate croissant on the side, you're already winning by making that choice. So drink the latte.
Drink the latte.
If it helps you. If you can do without it, do without it. Have a ginger shot instead. But for God's sake, drink the latte. We don't want to be miserable and trying to repair our bodies. We've got to do it in a manner that suits us and fits our lives, because this phase is going to go on for years.
Yeah.
We're not dieting for a summer holiday. We're literally feeding ourselves to fuel ourselves for the next 5, 7, 10 years and beyond.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
all of these practices that we're sort of forced to implement now are only going to do us wonders in our old age. So it's sort of a little forced prelude to old age.
Yeah.
So
Susie's asking me to share your brand because she'd love to try them. Super easy is her favorite. So she just literally wants things that are accessible, that she can take Do the juices and ginger shots end your fast?
Again, my same point applies. If you are fasting for autophagy, if you're fasting like really, really strict fasting, then yes, they would, because some of the natural sugars will interrupt that process. However, a normal everyday fasting process, you look at any 5-2 plan, you eat for 5, you fast for 2, but on those fasting days, more often than not, they allow whoever they are, 500 calories, which just cuts down the digestion. It cuts down the calories that you're consuming. What I do on my fasting plan is I don't allow a meal. We just have 500 calories worth of juices, which is split between 5 juices a day. So you'll have 10 juices and ginger shots over the course of 2 days. You will be fed. I promise you, your body will be nourished in a slightly different way to before, but every single nutrient that goes in your body will do something. So it's still considered an intermittent fasting routine. But again, if you're in it for autophagy and really wanting to strip back, then you need to be doing a water fast, or just a water fast, basically.
Susie, on Instagram, you can find Lou's brand, which is Recovery Juice, and then within her bio is the link to her website, but we will absolutely link it.
It's just recoveryjuice.co.uk.
recoveryjuice.co.uk, and I'll put that in my post.
And once you come on, if you just wait 5 seconds, you'll get a little pop-up which will give you a 20% off first order. So
amazing, absolutely amazing. I am so proud of you. Like beyond proud of you. And this is the reason, young lady, why you need to be talking more on Instagram. And I know that our community
terrified. Can't do it.
We've had this conversation over and over again. You hold so much knowledge that is so relatable, and you are in exactly the same stage as a lot of our community. We're going through this together, but yet you hold the key to a lot of this information. And why do we need to suffer in our second spring? This is where we are in our beautiful transition, and we deserve to live our life to the fullest. And this could help us. And you need to be educating more people, because you are outstanding.
Well, I bought myself a ring light today, so maybe I'm a bit more ready.
Maybe this is the start.
I really appreciate people still being on here, because that was a long webinar. I thought
it was, but it was so interesting. It was easy to listen to. And Susie has just said that she feels like a juice cleanse is coming at the end of chemo. So, I mean, what more, Lou?
Honestly,
like, Susie, you are amazing. And
you are amazing.
We are all sending you so much love. Yeah, absolutely, my darling.
Really will.
And let's just get this chemo done, Susie. We're all by your side.
Yeah. And if people have any follow-up questions, Cassie, how does that work? So
this is what happens now. So in the app, which obviously you are one of our Herizen experts, when we post this webinar today, I always put, anybody has any questions, please ask. So if you keep dipping into the app, Lou, you will see people will say at Lou and then Recovery Juice, and then they can talk to you. But equally as well, if I'll keep an eye, Laura always keeps an eye. So if we get anything, I'll always alert you. But keep dipping in and out of the app as you do, and then you'll see all of our incredible community asking questions. But we're going to come back with more webinars in the new year, and equally, Lou, we're going to want to impart some of this knowledge in written text so that people can follow it at their own leisure.
Absolutely.
If you can think about that, just a bit more work in your busy day.
It's fine.
As if I haven't taken enough of your time.
Fortunately, I love what I do, so it's fine.
But equally as well, when we do our retreats in the future, like you're going to be there. So there's so much that we're going to bring to our community. It's just utterly amazing. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for this evening.
Thank you.
You have blown my mind.
Give me the opportunity to talk about what I love more than anything. And it's a transformative thing. Once you make a few changes, it really is life-changing. So
you're amazing.
My doors are always open.
Thank you to everybody that joined as well. Thank you for your comments and your questions. We really, really, we really appreciate it. And yes, Susie, we have got you, Catherine. Well said. Catherine said, Susie, we've got you. Susie, we're holding you in our hearts, my darling. And all the women, all of our incredible women. I'm always thinking about our incredible community. So, okay. You can go to bed now.
Okay, I'm going to go eat.
Go and eat. Absolutely. All right, my darling. We'll speak very soon. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that joined. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you. Just how you do it.